Hi, almost half of 2024 has passed. During this time, many good games have been released, some of which are strategy games, city-building simulators, turn-based strategies, and real-time strategies. In this video, I'll talk about the most interesting ones. Let's start with Reus 2. It's a god simulation game where players control giant beings, shaping planets and guiding humanity at their own pace without a timer. Their actions will direct and inspire humanity. Leaders, inventions, buildings, and paths of development all depend on the player's choices. As humanity evolves, players will decide whether to support their aspirations or create challenges. If unsatisfied with the outcome, they can always start anew with a new humanity. Men of War 2. This game focuses on World War II events and offers deep, engaging gameplay that requires attentiveness, quick decision-making, and knowledge of each unit's specifics. The game features large-scale real-time battles, requiring micromanagement and understanding of unit strengths and weaknesses. The complex resource management system includes command and logistics points for calling reinforcements. Infantry plays a key role, performing tasks from holding positions to using vehicles and conducting diversions. The variety of infantry units is impressive: riflemen, automatic riflemen, scouts, snipers, and engineers. Managing motorized troops requires skill. Vehicles are divided into wheeled and tracked, with the possibility of direct control. Aviation includes reconnaissance and attack aircraft, performing various attacks and requiring air defense protection. The game includes single-player campaigns and multiplayer modes. Fabledom is a charming city-building simulator set in a fantasy world where players create and manage their own kingdom. The game impresses with its fairy tale atmosphere and picturesque graphics. Players will engage in building construction, resource gathering, and resident management. An interesting feature is the ability to interact with various characters, including romantic relationships. The game includes magical elements and mythical creatures, adding uniqueness and charm. Managing the economy, developing infrastructure, and exploring the surrounding world create a diverse and deep gameplay experience. Fabledom also offers storylines and quests that help reveal the world's history and its inhabitants. As they gradually develop their kingdom, players face various challenges and make strategic decisions that affect further development. The game is perfect for those who love relaxing and colorful strategies with elements of fairy tales and magic. Homeworld 3. Released after a long hiatus, Homeworld 3 continues the tradition of its predecessors by offering a complex and multi-layered real-time strategy set in space. Players are once again in a universe where freedom of movement and a three-dimensional battle system are key elements. The story unfolds 20 years after the events of the second part, focusing on a new threat, the anomaly. Players must manage a fleet, gather resources, build ships, and adapt to dynamically changing battle conditions. The developers have emphasized the single-player mode, but there is also a multiplayer co-op for up to 3 players. Technically, the game looks impressive, offering high detail and a rich soundtrack that creates an immersive atmosphere for space battles. Homeworld 3 does not simplify the task for players, requiring careful planning and the use of tactical pauses for managing the growing fleet and completing missions. The interconnected missions and thoughtful gameplay make it a worthy continuation of the iconic series, retaining all the key aspects that fans loved in the original games. Oddsparks. This adventure game is perfect for fans of Factorio. The main character lives in a fairy tale village where the residents constantly need help. Surrounding the town are numerous procedurally generated locations with ancient ruins. These ruins contain blueprints for factories that will process resources into building materials, tools, and modules. Players' task is to restore and establish a steady flow of production. You will also explore procedurally generated landscapes, where you will encounter various types of flora and fauna, as well as ancient ruins that hold secrets. You can play this game alone or with friends online. Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. This city-building simulator, inspired by Townscaper, offers players a new experience in creating and managing settlements on rocky outcrops in the middle of the ocean. The main elements of the game include constructing outposts, connecting them with bridges, and managing an expanding supply network. Visually, the game impresses with its views and atmosphere, and the construction process is particularly enjoyable as you watch workers create various structures. However, Bulwark suffers from a lack of depth in combat mechanics and economics, limiting its long-term appeal. Periodic attacks by pirates and rival factions do not require significant effort, allowing players to relax and enjoy the building process. Necrosmith 2. This is the sequel to the Necromancer simulator where players assemble an army of zombies from various body parts. The main goal is to explore territories, create, and upgrade a base. The game offers many mechanics, including resource management and tactical battles. With each passing day, enemies become stronger, requiring careful planning and resource management. However, the poorly developed AI of the minions often hinders progress, and the random drop of blueprints can significantly complicate the gameplay. Even the most powerful fighters, such as Titans, lose their effectiveness at higher levels. The game's graphics are pleasant, but the interface leaves much to be desired. Dice Kingdoms is a turn-based strategy game in the spirit of classic dice games, where players take turns rolling dice and taking actions based on the results. Players need to develop their kingdom and avoid post-apocalyptic scenarios. The game provides an island in the middle of the ocean, where players develop their state through science, culture, and the construction of wonders that bring them closer to victory by points. Managers can plan city districts, build specialized structures, and undertake technological projects, such as flood dams or defensive walls against barbarian raids. Sons of Valhalla is a pixel action game with strategy and RPG elements, inspired by Norse mythology. Players take on the role of a Viking seeking revenge for the destruction of his home and the abduction of his beloved. The main gameplay elements include building settlements, managing resources, and engaging in combat against enemies. The game stands out for its dynamic combat and deep strategic elements, requiring effective management of troops and defensive structures. Every choice the player makes affects the development of the settlement and the outcome of battles. Millennia is a strategy game with deep and thoughtful civilization management mechanics. In the game, you can build and develop your empires, starting from ancient times and reaching futuristic eras. The game features a complex diplomacy and warfare system. The graphics are high quality, creating an immersive atmosphere across different historical periods. Visual effects and attention to detail help convey the scale and significance of every action. The game also offers rich content, including various missions and tasks that make the gameplay engaging and long-lasting. One of the game's strengths is its multiplayer mode, allowing you to compete with players from around the world. Synergy. In this game, you can develop your state, adapting to technological innovations and environmental changes. You'll explore the world, send expeditions beyond the settlement, and discover new technologies. Regarding city-building mechanics, the settlement in the game is divided into 9 districts, each with its bonuses, and the efficient placement of buildings can significantly enhance your city's productivity. Godsworn offers a fresh take on the RTS genre by combining elements of Warcraft 3 and Age of Mythology. The gameplay is inspired by Warcraft 3, providing players with a choice of gods who act as heroes with unique abilities that level up over the course of the game. Each god is a unique unit with specific abilities, categorized into tanks, healers, and damage dealers. The game also incorporates elements from Age of Mythology, including 4 resources to gather. The economy and resource management add depth to the gameplay. Automatic production and worker management significantly ease the gameplay process. Laysara, Summit Kingdom. In this game, you create and manage settlements on a massive mountain. The gameplay involves constructing various districts on the mountain slopes, with special attention to the transportation of goods and optimal placement of buildings for settlement development. The game includes an element of automation, simplifying the gameplay and allowing players to focus on strategy. Developing infrastructure and ensuring the well-being of your people is challenging due to the harsh environment, where growing crops is difficult and navigating treacherous paths is dangerous. Additionally, there is always the risk of avalanches, which are unpredictable and unavoidable. Manor Lords is a medieval city-building simulator with real-time strategy elements. Players have complete freedom in placing buildings and developing settlements, starting from a small camp. A crucial aspect of the game is the interconnectedness of elements. Producing bread requires completing all stages from growing wheat to baking. Resource and population management play a vital role. Players must monitor the spirituality, health, and needs of their settlers, providing them with food and materials. Winter requires stockpiling resources, and trade routes and relationships with neighbors impact development. The economy is complex but well thought out, requiring constant attention to production and trade. Songs of Silence is a grand strategy game with RPG elements, combining fortress management on a global map, world exploration, hero development, and direct control of armies in tactical battles. The tactical gameplay focuses on combat, where kingdoms wage wars with large armies. Each army consists of hundreds of powerful units, creating a spectacular battle scene within a minute. Strategists must skillfully use the surrounding landscape, organize ambushes, and emphasize the dynamics of the battle. That's all. Have a nice day.